Hello, welcome back to Italian Oraculum. I'm Danilo, and today I am going to do a reading with an oracle deck that I created myself. This is a section, a part of the Arthur Rackham Tarot from Lo Scarabeo, and I've cut away the title, the number, everything, so I only have the illustrations. Of course, it is a curated deck, a curated art deck, so the illustrations are not were not originally created for tarot. It's the work of an artist that is used to create a deck, and the connection between the name of the card and the illustration is made after the art is done, so it's not necessarily easy to recognize a card for again the title and illustration for the card that is it has been chosen to represent. That being said, because it is an oracle that I want to try to use both in predictive readings and in more analytical personal situations, I am going to try and use it predictively right now, but not trying to force specific practical situation on it situations on it. I'm just going to see how it speaks. It could very well be a failed experiment, so I am curious to see if I made something that I can use, or if I sacrificed a deck that is going to just be an aesthetic, maybe sort of prop or tool, or if it was just a crafty project without a, a successful result, essentially. Okay, let's begin. I want to cut my deck anyway. I've shuffled it and I can see. Quick disclaimer, I have another copy of this deck, so I could go and see which cards were this, but I don't really need it. I see a man looking at a fish in a pond. A man that seems to be finely dressed. And here I see a starry night with a man that is not necessarily poor, but the walking stick seems to be natural. It's slightly wavy, so maybe not purposely made into a walking stick, just a branch that was laying on the side of the street. The hair is disheveled, so I see the combination of these two cards as a mirror between these two characters. So a finely made, curated presence, aesthetic exterior, way of speech, way of behaving, way of moving, can impress someone that's more simple, less sophisticated within a smaller context. but it is also not enough when compared to something truly elevated, truly beautiful. So whether it is a situation where we are kind of confronted by someone that seems to be intimidating because they seem to be sophisticated, have more money, and we need to remember they as well have someone that can intimidate them. Both because, again, more money, more means, but also the stars in the sky are natural, they're not artificial like the fine clothing. So true beauty, if you want to call it that, it's natural, but it's not necessarily corresponding to humans' idea of beauty. It is beautiful because it is truly what it is. It is truly itself. It respects its own nature. It's not forced into a container or into a system it doesn't belong to. On the other hand, we could be used to be seen as the better clothed, poised, better spoken party in the situation and be confronted with the freedom and the beauty and vastity of everything we are not, and it's above us, other than us, but still beautiful. So there is a confrontation between the world within, the world without, artificial sort of beauty, natural sort of beauty, sort of social hierarchies. There is always someone above you. Let's see how the story keeps going. Again, this is going to be a reading for whatever, not necessarily a practical or emotional matter, but it is, I think it has already proven to be quite interesting. Now, we see a poor character that has some means but also some difficulties with this handkerchief or whatever it is uh, on his face. I don't know why, but I think about someone that has an abscess or some sort of toothache and doesn't really have the means to go to a dentist, and has to essentially wait for the inflammation to just go away. But again, not finely clothed, but still clothed. The walking stick is just essentially a cut branch, but it does its job. The belongings or maybe the food ratios are small, but they are there. This character seems to have at least a knife. I think this is a piece of a gun. There's something on his back that could be some sort of backpack. Ah, no, it is a. Sorry, no, this could be a pistol, and this is a violin and the I'm missing the word for the object you use to play the violin, but you understood the thing. So it has a bit of everything, this character. It's not well, it's not the best situation, but it's surviving. It could thrive. Maybe it's moving in the countryside, maybe it's between two different cities or towns where he could make money with his music, but he can defend himself. He has something to eat. I presume he has an assistance for his walking. He has a hat to keep essentially the sun at bay. He has some sort of cape, so it's not cold, and he has a musical instrument, so he can make music. He is recovering from something, but it's not too dire of a situation. I feel like that's the thing. And then we have two children and what seems to be some sort of spirit and this chest. So this character in its naivety could find a unforeseen, if not necessarily magical or spiritual mean to better his situation. In fact, we see this woman that is atop of a tall building, finally dressed, and seems to sort of be in a moment where she's contemplating her life choices, maybe because she's looking to the left, toward us instead toward the town she's in. So I feel like these three cards are a reading that's predictive and tells us that we could do worse. We are trying to do better, but we could do worse, and we are going to find both waiting and acting. This reminds me a bit of the Hierophant card. We are we could find something precious, some sort of help, again, an unexpected one, or maybe even a subtle spiritual magical one, and elevate ourselves. So this is a good prediction, but at the same time, then here we have a tree with some fey folk, and I would think this is a reminder that this situation is going to happen, but it's going to take time and it's going to take a bit of, you could call it divine intervention, spiritual intervention, and even if you don't necessarily believe in it, it's going to involve a bit of believing in things going better, being possible to be better, to change for the better. I see this moon poking out from the tree, so I'm now thinking a monthly sort of change, not necessarily 1 month, but it is a matter of months, not years or who knows when. And then this character with these other characters, this sort of gnomes and this sort of satire coming out from the tree. And here I can see other sort of faces. It's like a warning. This card to me feels like a warning. Now I'm thinking back to the cat, and I feel like this passage from here to here could be temporary or something bad for us in the long run if we forget our more genuine side, our wilder side, our more natural side. There is a situation where this is just you are growing to be this, and here is like a telling, but remember, you are still a tree, you're not a tower. So you're not a castle, you're a tree. You are going to be beautiful, you're going to be great, you're going to be powerful, you're going to be steady and fruitful and be a house for small animals, and you're going to thrive. But don't forget your true nature. Don't forget who you belong to. I feel like these are like a representation of our kindred spirits in society. Maybe people that are a little bit unconventional or on the sideline, maybe even. And this is a reminder: you are this. If you are true to yourself, you are going to grow. If you are not, you are going to get sick. Trees can get sick and die. And I feel like this character is a noble woman of some sort, someone rich, but at the same time, I feel like I look at it and it feels like it's a mask. It feels like she's playing a role in this town, so she has to play it right. And I think the only way to do it, considering these two cards, is remembering her wilder nature. It's like this shift between these two characters through some sort of mysterious intervention is going to give this character the means to play this role and reap the benefits of it, but they have to balance their true nature and be thankful to the the help received. That as well. Hmm. This was a fun experiment. It is a bit complicated to read with these cards, especially in English. So I'm sorry if this video was a little bit more stuttered than my usual. But again, I never used this deck. I just made it, and I find it very intriguing, but also very mysterious, also very filled with warnings. At least this reading specifically. Maybe it's the art style that's kind of giving me the witch hiding in plain sight vibe. Thanks for watching. As always, in the description of the video you can find my handle of Instagram if you want to follow me there. You find my email address if you want to book a reading. I remind you that the subscription to my channel is totally free for you. It's just a way for me to be kind of shown by YouTube to other people. And of course, I always enjoy your comments and appreciate your like. Even if it's just an emoji in the comment section, it's really it's appreciated. But again, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.